Hello dear students, welcome to PACE Digital. This is Charita Shankar from PACE IIT and Medical Hyderabad. Today we are going to discuss regarding the chapter trigonometry. Each and every reason behind why is sine minus theta positive or negative. What is cos minus theta? Is it positive or negative? Why? What is the reason behind all that? Also, why is sine A plus B sine A cos B plus cos A sine B? Why is all this coming up? All the reasons are those things what we are going to discuss in today's class, right? So starting with this unit circle. What is a unit circle? Unit circle is always a circle with radius 1 unit. So we are considering radius as 1 unit, and I'm starting with the problems. Now, have you ever come across negative angles? Did you think about negative angles anytime? No, right? So till now, till your grade 10, you have never come across minus 30 degrees or minus 40 degrees, isn't it? So even though I am talking about negative angles, my sense is only based on the direction. Clear? So observe here. So you've got a positive direction and negative direction. That is clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. When the angle is rotated through anti-clockwise direction, I call that as positive angle. So this is theta is positive here. Now coming here, it is negative angle because the direction of the angle that is made is in the clockwise direction. That is negative angle, right? So remember one thing, anti-clockwise is positive angles and clockwise is negative angles. Magnitude remains the same. The amount of rotation remains the same. The only direction, what it matters there. So why do we talk about direction? What is the use of direction? What is the need to know the direction, right? So trigonometry is all very helpful in your space study, right? So when I'm talking about the planetary motions, so when I'm talking about, let us take the latest Chandrayaan, right? So Chandrayaan, how do you think Chandrayaan was landed on the moon? So we have taken complete rotations about the earth and then it was just flipped away like that. Now how is the rotation taken there? So are we going to tell like rotate towards right or rotate towards left? Does it make sense? You are in the space, and how do we give instructions to the computer? All this can be done using trigonometry with these positives and negatives. So when I'm talking about a positive angle, I'm talking about the anti-clockwise rotation. When I'm talking about negative angle, I am talking about clockwise rotation. Clear with that, right? So this is positive theta and here we go with a minus theta. Now when I'm talking about a unit circle, right? So I am starting with the theta. So this side, that is theta, the direction observed there, I'm marking the arrow mark there, that is theta. And coming here, this will be your minus theta, right? Because it is clockwise rotation. Now in the triangle OAC, in the triangle OAC, tell me what is sine theta? So from this, from the basic knowledge, what you know, so what is sine theta equals to? That is your opposite side by hypotenuse, right? So let me give some notation here, that is some x comma y, right? That point is notated in x comma y because both x and y are positive, I am considering. Now when I'm talking about the b, tell me your x is positive and y is negative, right? So x is positive and y will be negative, right? Now I am talking about a sine theta there. So tell me what is sine theta? That is your opposite side y upon hypotenuse by 1, which I am not mentioning, that's fine, right? Now coming for what is cos theta, that is your adjacent side by hypotenuse. So your adjacent is the horizontal length, that is your x coordinate. So that will be your x by 1. Perfect. Now let us talk about this triangle. So in triangle OCB, in the triangle OCB, do I find a minus theta there? Right? So I am talking about what is sine minus theta. So what is sine minus theta? It's again opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite is your minus y. Now minus y upon hypotenuse is 1. Now did you ever get a doubt? See, we are talking about lengths and I am writing a negative. So can length be negative? Did you ever think about that? Can our length be negative? But why did I write that? Because sine is opposite side by hypotenuse. These are sides. How can they be negative? Why did I write a negative thing? Right. So you need to understand one fact, that in coordinate geometry, we know that in this quadrant, our y is negative. Our y itself is negative there. So when y is negative, obviously in order to make that negative positive, this my negative makes that positive. So minus of minus is making it a positive sign. Understand that? So for that reason, we will be including that minus sign. Here, your y will be negative. So minus of minus will turn out to be positive. I am definitely using a positive length only. I am not at all using a negative length here, right? Now coming for sine minus theta, that is minus y. So is same as writing minus of y. Y is sine theta. So that is minus of sine theta. So sine minus theta is minus sine theta. Coming for cos minus theta. So what is cos minus theta? So from here it is again adjacent upon hypotenuse. Adjacent is horizontal line, that is the same x upon 1. Now what is x from there? That is cos theta. Understood? So what did we conclude from this? Sine of minus theta is minus sine theta and cos of minus theta is cos theta. So now that we got to know regarding what is sine and cos, can I just find out what is tan, right? So from this structure only, I am just trying to find out what is tan theta. So what is tan theta? Obviously y upon x, isn't it? Because sine by cos. Now coming here, what is tan minus theta? Tan minus theta is sine minus theta by cos minus theta, which is minus sine theta by cos theta. Obviously, that will be minus tan theta, right? So, what are the informations that we got from this? So, our sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, we have made use of them and we found sine theta, sine of minus theta, cos minus theta and tan minus theta, right? So for all the negative angles, all the t ratios is what we are just finding out. So in this, what is the small observation that we have noticed? So everywhere we are getting a negative except for cos, isn't it? So it's only cos minus theta which will not omit that minus sign. So cos minus theta is cos theta only. But when I'm talking about sine minus theta, that omits that negative sign for this reason, that is minus sine theta. And coming for tan minus theta, it's again omitting a negative sign, that is your minus tan theta. So even the reciprocals also will behave in the same way, right? So what is the reciprocal of sine? Obviously cosecant. So cosecant minus theta also will be omitting that negative sign. So cosecant minus theta is minus cosecant theta. What about secant minus theta? That will not omit that negative sign because cos is not omitting. Obviously secant also will not be. So this is secant theta only. Coming for tan reciprocal, that is cot minus theta, which is again omitting that negative sign, that is minus cot theta. So only two trigonometric ratios which will not give the negative sign even though they have contained that negative sign in the bracket, that is cos minus theta is cos theta, secant minus theta is secant theta, right? So understood this? Well, right. Now we are going to discuss regarding, you all might have really heard regarding all silver teacups, right? So this phrase is very, very common phrase. All are positive in the first quadrant only. Sine is positive in the second quadrant only. Tan is positive in the third quadrant. But why? What are the reasons behind all that? So all that we are going to crack it now, right? So whose adda is which quadrant and all. Sine's adda is like second quadrant and tan's adda is third quadrant and cos adda is fourth quadrant. These are all the houses of sine, cos, tan and all. But why? What are the reasons? Why should be that only? So that is what we are going to crack now from this figure, right? So do not get terrified looking at the figure. I am going to explain each and everything for you in detail. Right, now observe this triangle OAC, right? So this is again a unit circle. Whenever I'm using, I'll be using a unit circle only, which will be common for everything, right? Now let us talk about OAC triangle. So we all know what are the x and y coordinates of that, right? So let me say what is sine theta from here. So we all know that sine theta is opposite by hypotenuse and opposite is y. Perfect. Upon hypotenuse is, as I said, one unit there, right? Now coming for what is cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. Your adjacent is again x. Horizontal length is x, vertical length is y. Remember that. Right. Now what did I conclude here? So my x coordinate is always cos theta and y coordinate is always sin theta. Remember this fact, right? So here my A, I can always write it like cos theta comma sin theta. Perfect. Understood till here? Right. So what are all the coordinates? I'm just trying to figure out. So A coordinate is cos theta comma sin theta. Fine. Perfect. Now did you observe this pink line here? So this pink line resembles the line y equal to x. So it is just a mirror image of this line there. That will be my D I will consider. So if it is a mirror image, as I said, y equal to x is the line, you just replace your x and y and write the coordinates for the D, right? This is a y equal to x line, right? So just replace your x and y and write down. So that remember that as yes, that will be your sin theta comma cos theta. Observe that. Clear till there? Right. See, you can see if at all you know y equal to x line, that is fine. If you don't know, you can always take the help of triangles chapter of your grade 10. So even in triangles, you will observe that this triangle is congruent to this triangle, right? It's similar, not congruent, right? So if it is similar, obviously their x and y coordinates will be matching there, right? So these two triangles are congruent and hence that is just a flip of that. Hence your y has changed to x and x has changed to y. So here you go with sin theta and cos theta as the coordinates of the point D there. Right. Now, I am talking about, see, we know that this is pi by 2, right? Your x-axis there, it is 90 degrees. When I am talking about this one, D, is it from here till here we are moving? That means when I have an angle, the same theta there, from 90, I am subtracting theta there. Got the point there? From 90, I am subtracting theta. From this till here is only what I am talking about. So this is OD, observe it carefully. So from here till here, what is the angle made? The angle made here is pi by 2 minus theta. Right. Now I am talking about what is sin pi by 2 minus theta and cos pi by 2 minus theta. So what did I talk about the x and y coordinates? X coordinate is always cos theta, y coordinate is always the sin theta there, right? So now accordingly, write down what is it? See, this is my x coordinate and y coordinate, right? So my question is regarding sin first. So sin in the sense, obviously it is its y coordinate. What is its y coordinate? Cos theta. Got it? Now, my question is regarding cos. Cos is always its x coordinate. What is its x coordinate? Sin theta. So, did you understand why sin 90 minus theta is cos theta and why sin cos 90 minus theta is sin theta? Even in your grade 10 trigonometry, you will observe that. But at that time, we will be taking the help of the trigonometric table and then we will let you know regarding that. But now this is the actual reason what you are going to understand here. Right. Now, just flip even more further. Now, when this line is even more further translated this way. So, when I'm just transposing this towards this, making y-axis as the mirror there. So, now your y-axis is acting as a mirror. So, obviously, towards right is your whatever be the length, that towards left will be the same length. Right. So, towards right when you're talking about, towards right is your positive x. Towards left is your negative x. Is this point clear? Right. So obviously this will be the E. Let me write the coordinates. So whenever you have that towards right it is x, towards left it will be minus x. So when that is sin theta, here it will be minus sin theta. And your y length remains the same, isn't it? So y length remains the same. So I am just writing cos theta only. So understood everyone the coordinates of the point E what I have written. Right. Now E, this angle, what is the angle made by OE from x-axis? So from here till here is what I am talking about the angle now. So what is that angle? This is your 90 degrees plus theta, isn't it? So 90 plus theta. So that will be my angle. So sin 90 plus theta and cos 90 plus theta is what I am going to discuss now. So here also, what is your x coordinate? Cos. What is your y coordinate? Sin. So now my question is regarding sin of pi by 2 plus theta. So sine in the sense immediately it's y coordinate. What is its y coordinate? That is cos theta. So mention its y coordinate. Now coming for cos pi by 2 plus theta. What is cos pi by 2? Cos in the sense it is x coordinate. What is its x coordinate? X coordinate is minus sine theta. Understood there? Right. Now even more a little further journey is what we are going ahead now. So now I have approached the point F there, right? Now what do you mean by this F? F is from this point till here is what I am talking about, the angle. Now easy way of representation from here, this is pi 180 degrees minus this angle is the angle which OF is making from your x-axis with the positive direction of x-axis. Now this angle is what? 180 minus theta I am talking about. Now what are the coordinates here? So I have to write the coordinates of the point F. How do I write the coordinates of the point F? Which triangle is it synchronizing with? So do you observe this and this both are synchronizing here? Or else you can also think about taking the y equal to minus x line. So just flip x and y with the change of their signs, that will be absolutely fine. So for this point, you just flip your sine and cos x and y along with the sign changes, right? So this line is your y equal to minus x line. So just to flip it this way, that is one way of thinking. Or observe this point A and point F are mirror images. Getting that logic? Point A and point F are the mirror images with respect to y as your mirror there. Now this is x comma y, so obviously that will be minus x comma y, isn't it? So minus x in the sense obviously that is minus cos theta and the same sine theta. Get that? Right? So here towards right is your x, towards left is your minus x. That's the only logic there. So you've got minus cos theta and sine theta there. Now coming for what is sine? Pi minus theta. Right? So sine is always which coordinate? Is it x or y? Sine is always the y coordinate there. So what is its y coordinate? So from here sine pi minus theta is its y coordinate, that is sine theta. And coming here cos pi minus theta, cos is always its x coordinate, that will be minus cos theta. Clear? Right. Now even more further journey towards after E, B, C, D, E, F done, now come with the point G. Now tell me what are the coordinates of the point G in the order. Go with the flow there. So coordinates of the point G, will they be coming or deriving from B, right? So do we know B? No, we don't know. So can they come from F? Think about that way, right? So from F I am talking about, see, F and G are at same distance with the same angle here. So obviously your x-axis is now your mirror there, right? So which means your x is towards left, that remains the same. So that is minus cos theta remains the same. And when that is y length is your sine theta, obviously towards the negative side of y axis, that will be your minus sine theta here. Right? So that will be minus cos theta and minus sine theta. Now I am starting with sine of pi minus theta. That will be, sine is always, again, what is sine? Is it horizontal length or the vertical length? Sine is always the vertical length. Vertical length is its y value, that is minus sine theta. And cos pi plus theta, cos is always its horizontal length and horizontal length is always its x value, that is minus cos theta there, right? Now further journey towards the point H there, right? So when I am talking about the point H, now what is this? This H, see, is this 3 pi by 2, 270 degrees, isn't it? So 3 pi by 2, and from this point till here is what we are transforming. Now from that point till here, is it the whole 270 minus this little part? The whole 270 minus theta will be your OH, whatever be the angle that is making, that is 3 pi by 2 minus theta. So what is 3 pi by 2 minus theta is what I am trying to find out, both for sine and cos. Sine is again vertical length, cos is again horizontal length. So before that I have to write its coordinates, right? So what are the coordinates for H? So how can I get it? So can I get H from E? isn't it? H and E, if I observe, these both observe there, right? So for E towards left, obviously the same x length, x is negative only, that is your minus sine theta. For E, vertical length is cos theta, obviously towards the negative side you will have that to be minus cos theta, right? So now again start with completing angle there. So obviously sine in the sense vertical, that is y coordinate, that will be your minus cos theta, and here you go with minus sine theta. Now talk about what is 270 plus theta. So coming here, 270 plus theta is what I am talking about. That means this point, I point is what I want. What is I? So is it in relation with H, taking this y axis as a mirror? Now see, observe, will it x length remain the same or y length remain the same? Think about carefully. See, that length and this length. So towards there it is your negative x. Obviously towards right side it will be your positive x. So x coordinate, just a sign change and write down. Your y length remains the same. Both are in the negative side. So that will become a minus cos theta only there. Now coming for sine. Sine is again what? What is sine? For 3 pi by 2 plus theta. Sine is again vertical length. Vertical length is always the y length. That y length is your minus cos theta, and cos is always the horizontal length, and that horizontal length will be your x value, that will be sine theta. Now the final one that we are talking about, J, the point J, or yeah, it's already given the point B. How do I write point B? Point B, can I just get it from A? Taking this x-axis as the mirror image, right? So here your x value remains the same for both of them, point A and B. So x value remaining the same, cos theta. Y value towards there is your upper side or positive side, and here comes your negative side. So that is sine theta. This will be minus sine theta there. Clear? Now when I am talking about sine, it's again the vertical length I am talking about. That will be your y value, that is your minus sine theta, and for cos theta I am talking about the horizontal length, that is your x, that is cos theta. So these are all the values what we have derived just now. Now tell me, this is my first quadrant. I find both sine and cos to be positive, right? Now when I am talking about second quadrant, in the second quadrant, tell me for sine and cos which is negative. Do I observe cos value is some negative there? Second quadrant, cos is negative, sine is positive. Coming with the third quadrant, so even more than this, we will talk about in a more specialized way there. So did you understand why 270 plus theta, 270 minus theta, 360 minus theta, 360 plus theta, all these values is what we want to find out few problems. I'll be discussing few problems. There are few steps involved in solving all this that we are going to discuss now. Yes, so when we are talking about, you might have heard regarding all silver teacups is what just we were discussing regarding, right? So what are the actual reasons is what we will see. Now x comma y there, the first quadrant, the coordinates of that point will be x comma y. So obviously we know that starting with sine theta will be x, no, that is y because that's the vertical length, and cos theta, that will be the horizontal length, that will be your x length, right? So when the first quadrant point is x comma y, obviously when the second quadrant I'm talking about, what is that point there? Negative x comma y, right? So here what will be sine alpha and what is cos alpha? Let us discuss. So sine alpha in the sense opposite. Opposite is your vertical length, that is your y only, y coordinate there. Cos is again, what is it? Your x coordinate. X coordinate is minus x there, right? Now, do you observe sine as positive and cos as negative there, right? So, what is positive, what is negative? So, obviously, here sine theta will be positive and cos theta will be negative. So, when sine and cos are one positive and one negative, what about the tan theta? So, do we have to discuss regarding that in a specialized way? No, not required. Sine by cos is same as tan. Right. So a positive by negative is what I'm just talking about. Positive by negative will be how much? Negative. So tan theta will also be negative. So tan theta will also be negative. Obviously, their reciprocals will behave in the same way. So who is only positive here? Sine is only positive here. That means whose adda is second quadrant. Second quadrant is sine's very own place. Sine's adda is the second quadrant. This is what we are specifying there. Right now, when we are talking about the third quadrant, how are the coordinates? The coordinates are minus x and minus y, right? Both are negative, right? So when I'm talking about sine beta and cos beta, tell me what are the values. Sine is the vertical length, that is your minus y. Cos is always the horizontal length, that will be your minus x. These both are negative. Then who is positive there? When I'm talking about tan is sine by cos. So negative upon negative, that turns out to be a positive. So who is positive? Tan is positive. Tan is positive in which quadrant? Quadrant 3. So tan's adda is quadrant 3 is what I can specify there. Right. So just tan and its reciprocal cot will be positive. The remaining two will be negative for that reason. Now talk about the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, your x and y. X is positive and y is negative side, right? So x positive and y negative. So here again, start with the sine gamma and cos gamma. So what is sine gamma? So sine gamma is minus y, cos gamma, that is x, right? Who is positive here? Cos is positive. Did we observe that? Right. So here I find cos is positive. Now when I'm talking about tan gamma, again negative by positive, which is again negative here. Right. So did we observe here all these are positive, because when I am saying what is tan theta in the first quadrant, it is positive by positive. Both are positive, and positive by positive we are getting positive. All six trigonometric ratios are positive in the first quadrant, right? Coming with the second quadrant, only sine and its reciprocal are positive. Coming with the third quadrant, only tan and its reciprocal are positive. With the fourth quadrant, only cos and its reciprocal are positive. Rest all are negative in their respective fields, right? So that gave this foundation to all silver teacups. This is just a trick to remember, easy way to understand. So all are positive in my first quadrant. As I said, second quadrant is sine's adda. So sine stands with S for silver, S for sine. So here only sine theta and its reciprocal are positive. Coming for teacups, all silver teacups you can remember, right? So T in the sense T is for tan. I am talking about only tan and the reciprocal is positive. Coming for the fourth one, that is cups, stands for C there, cos again. So cos is positive along with its reciprocal, right? So these are the four signs which we very much need them. So based on the previous concept and this concept is what we are going to find out the trigonometric ratios of the angles greater than 90 degrees. So when I said tan 270 degrees, do we know that till your grade 10 we were discussing regarding only sine 30, cos 30, 60, 45. All this is what we have discussed till there. But what about the angles which are more than that? So when I said tan 215, yes, you can find out using these two logics is what we are going to crack that now, right? So let's start few problems based on this concept for today, right? So based on the above mentioned facts regarding, so what if the theta is a 270 minus theta, 360 plus theta, or 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta? We have discussed all this. So all these will be done in an applicative mode in our few questions, that is sine 225 and cos 330 degrees. Just two examples is what I am taking. How to apply the logics what I said just now, right? So now coming for the question sine 225. So there are just three steps to follow. Step 1, expressing the given angle as multiple of 90 plus or minus some angle there. That is my first step. After expressing that, what we will do? So we will consider whether it is an even multiple or an odd multiple. If it is an even multiple, your trigonometric ratio remains the same. If it is an odd multiple, it changes to its complementary pair, which we have already discussed in the above session there. Now coming for 225, how do I represent 225? 225 can be written like, so 180 plus 45, right? So this is a sine 180 plus 45. So 180 is 2 into 90, and 2 is an even multiple. If it is an even multiple, sine remains as sine only. So this can be written like the same sine 45, but what about the quadrant in which this theta lies? Now 225 is the angle that I am talking about. So this 225 lies in which quadrant is what I need to take the decision. 225, see, this is 0 degrees, this is 90 degrees, this is 180 and 270, this is again 360. So 225 will be falling under third quadrant there, right? So 225 degrees is in third quadrant, and third quadrant question is regarding sine. Sine is negative, right? This is cos adda, right? So this is cos house. So wherein sine is negative there. So take a negative sign there. So minus 1 by root 2 will be my answer. So now you might get a question, what if I write this sine 225 in a different form? That is, can I also write the same 225 in 270 minus 45 terms? This is 3 into 90. Earlier I have used even multiple of 90. Now I am using odd multiple of 90. If it is the odd multiple of 90, according to our rule, if it is odd multiple of 90, sine changes to cos, tan changes to cot, and secant changes to cosecant. It's complementary pair. Now this sign changes to cos because it is odd multiple. Hence, this becomes cos the same angle 45 follows there. Decide the quadrant in which it lies, the third quadrant. Third quadrant, never ever look for the changed value, look out for your original value only. The same sign question is the question. So sign is negative in this, so apply a negative sign. So that is minus cos 45, that will be minus 1 by root 2. Same answer whether you do it that way or this way. So no problem at all. Go ahead with what strikes your brain there. Now look at the question number 2. That is cos 330 degrees. How do I relate to 330? 330 can be written like 360 minus 30, right? So this can be written like 360 minus 30, wherein can be written like 9 into, so this is 4 into 90 minus 34 being even multiple, cos remains as cos only. So this remains as cos only, and the same 30 degrees continues here. Now decision of the quadrant. So where is it? 330. See, this is 270 and this is 360. So obviously that lies in my fourth quadrant. In my fourth quadrant, look out for cos. Cos is positive. That is cos adda only, right? So this is positive only. So cos 30, that will be your root 3 by 2 is your final answer there. Now, if the question is, see, these are all 2 into 90, 3 into 90 or 4 into 90, which you can decide the quadrant. Suppose if my question has got a very huge number, that is, let me say, sum tan 15 into 90 plus 45. This is my question, let it be. Now, after expressing as some multiple of 90, next immediate my thing should be like whether it is even multiple or odd multiple is what I will be checking. So now I got this as my odd multiple. Now coming for odd multiple, tan changes to cot. So this becomes cot 45. Write down the angle. Now decision of the quadrant. See, the earlier angles are 225 and 330. You are able to manage in which quadrant it lies. See, whichever be the angle given to you, it always lies in these four quadrants only. Either this is like 0 into 90 or 1 into 90, 2 into 90, 3 into 90 or 4 into 90 or 8 into 90 or 12 into 90. It keeps on going that way, multiples of 4. So 12 into 90, 13 into 90, 14 into 90 and 15 into 90. So here you are. So instead of all this rotation, what we can actually do is observe 15. This multiple always lies in the four quadrants only, right? So divide that 15 by 4. So divide that 15 by 4. Look out for your remainder here. So 15 3s 12 and your remainder is 4. Yeah, 4 3s is 12 and your remainder is 3. So that means your journey is still here. Now plus something, go, you are going in an anti-clockwise direction, plus something, move forward, minus something, go back. right? So plus something, here you are, that is in your fourth quadrant. What is tan in the fourth quadrant? Fourth quadrant tan is negative, hence you take a negative sign, hence -1 will be your answer there. Right. So one last question which gives you a complete gist of the topic. Suppose if I give you, let it be some cot 17 into 90 plus 60. If this is my question, 17 into 90, I cannot keep counting there, isn't it? So just divide that multiple by 4, look out for the remainder, right? So what is your remainder when you are dividing 17 divided by 4? Your remainder is 1. 17 divided by 4, 4, 4, 16, remainder is 1. So always take the symbol 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is your remainder 1 there. So as this is odd multiple, obviously cos remains as cot changes to tan, isn't it? So cot changes to tan and write down that 60 degrees. Now coming for the decision of the quadrant in which the theta lies. So that value is an 17 into, in the sense we got the remainder to be 1. Remainder 1 is here plus something. Obviously you are going anti-clockwise direction. Select this as your choice there. So quadrant 2 is your decision. In the quadrant 2, cot is negative. Hence take a minus. So minus tan 60 will be your answer. That will be your minus root 3. This is your answer. So whatever be the angle given to you, how big that is doesn't matter at all. You can just express as some multiple of 90 plus or minus something. That multiple, if it is even, remain the trigonometric ratio the same. If it is odd, convert it to its complementary pair. Third step is the decision of the angle. How will you take that? As it is multiple of 4, divided by 4 and check out for the remainder. Remainder wherever it is stopping there. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is what you just take. From there, if it is plus something, move forward. If it is minus something, move backward. Forward in the sense anti-clockwise direction, backward in the sense clockwise direction. So that is how you can solve each and every question based on all these angles which are more than your 90 degrees, which falls under all these 4 quadrants, right? So all the along these problems along with their reasoning is what done in this video, which is very essential for your class 11 and 12 trigonometry. Coming up video will be on the compound angles, that is sine A plus B, sine A minus B. We have got too many formulae, major important formulae. How are all these derived? Those all will be discussing in the upcoming videos. Stay tuned for such updates. Thank you so much for watching.